Hello and welcome to Cricut. My name is Cody, and in today's video I'm going to be going over how to make really cute anime eyes for my Cricut machine. I made these using my Cricut maker. Some of you may know that I just bought one, so I'm actually making very good use of it. I actually just made a shirt that says Cricut. I love how all of this stuff is working out. I have found lots of different places and people have been leaving such nice comments on things that I can do in order to save money and how I can make things in certain ways and their applications for a Cricut maker. There are so many applications, like even just now doing the Let's Eat bib. I redid it with some felt letters because I think that this looks a lot better than the fabric paint that I used for just doing the letters. I use it for a lot of stuff, but I don't know, it just didn't look quite right to me. So I'm gonna be showing how I made these eyes. I didn't even use a PNG image or any kind of silhouette or anything like that. I will be using some PNGs and some silhouetted images that I'll link all those down below. I'll have a Dropbox that has all these image files just on there in case you want to make your own stuff. And I'll have that all linked for whenever I do use those for those specific projects in their doobly-doos. As you know, I'm going to be making a Fortnite bear. I'm doing the Kyo from Boots Baskets. I mentioned that in my last tutorial. I'm doing all the FNAF characters. I'm trying to get through them all. I have Chica done. Foxy's going to be next. I'm actually working on Foxy right now, and I'm going to be working on Bonnie and Freddy. I already have Freddy and Foxy done on the channel, but I really like how this style with the Luna Squish body looks a lot better, so stay tuned for that. Basically, I'm going to be going on my computer and trying to show you what I do and showing you what felt I use and what I used specifically in order to make this end product. I love how this looks. Look at how cute her little eyes are. Her neck is kind of going a little sideways, but she's super cute and I love it. So let's go ahead and go over to Screen Record Cody and see what she has to say about the Cricut Maker app and all that stuff. We'll pop on over there. All right, so now we are going into our Cricut design space. I already have my main anime eyes kind of project open, and the way that I do this, so I have the FNAF anime eye. I figure out the size that I want to make the eye, right? So I wanted the outermost part to be 1.5 inches, and this 1.5 inch is the outermost. Then I made a shape right here. So I go over to the shapes, I hit circle. It's already an innate thing that's inside of your Cricut's design space. And so here, I've got a big giant circle, 3.111 inch. I don't want it that big. I would like it to be 1.5-ish inches. Sometimes it alters and I can't figure out how to make it exactly that, but roughly 1.5 inch. And then I do the same thing. I turned it white just to kind of show what it was for the eye, because that's the color felt that I'm going to be using, essentially. And so we're doing 1.5 inch, and then I made other circles and kind of just guesstimated what I wanted the eyes to look like, and I'm going to do this for all of them, essentially. And I duplicate it because we're making two eyes. So I make the first one, the white one, 1.5 inch. The next one was 1.264 inches. This was the color part of the eye, obviously. Then we're going to work on the iris, which was 0.747 inch. And then I have the whites of the eyes, which I put on top of all of that as 0.595 inch. Then, so I can't just take this and print it willy-nilly. I have to take each color for each sheet and do that. So I'll explain what I mean. So let's go over to, where is under my projects? It's going to be under my collections. So here, the eyes. Let's go to eyes, and under eyes, I took this, my FNAF anime eye, and I took the colors and I stripped them. So essentially, these are the irises, so the little black part of the eye. The anime color eye, I split it up into separate, where I have duplicates of them, essentially. So the colors are in their own little project. And then the whites, because they're both going to be, they're both white, I'm going to put them in their own sheet. Then, for example, I'll take the white sheet with my anime eyes whites. I'll click on that project, and then I'll go to make it. So if I go to customize, I'll show you what it looks like under this part, basically. There we go. Alright, that took a second to load. Here, I'm going to make this bigger just to show the size of it. I am going to put my felt of that color. I'm using the white felt sheet, putting it onto my fabric mat, and then I'm going to hit make it. I'm going to, if I'm making more than one, you could easily take these shapes and bring them over here. You will also notice that I took those shapes, duplicated them, and put them like this, just so it would waste a little less space if I put it like this, and I welded them together. That way when I hit make it, it doesn't do some weird stuff. So if I hit make it and I don't have them all welded together, they'll just kind of line up however, and they'll all be up on top of each other. This way makes it easier for me to cut. I don't need a mirror. I don't need to do that. I'm going to hit continue. And then over here, when I go into the connect machine, oh, I need to go turn it on. Now that it is connected, I'm going to hit felt. So this is a little bit weird. They're all a little bit different because these are so thick. It calls for a fine point blade. I'm, however, not going to use a fine point blade. I'm going to hit edit tools, and I'm going to go over to rotary blade. I'm going to change the housing of which blade is already in, and I'm going to change it to the rotary blade. That way it will cut. So I'm going to go change my blade, and then I'm going to go show the... Alright, so I am in the felt section, and I am going to show you how I pick my felt when I'm using the Cricut machine. Basically, you don't want to go for the ones that are, actually this one will probably be okay, but the ones that are a little bit floppier and not as sturdy, those will get shredded up through the blade of the Cricut. So what I wind up using is these ones, which are a little bit sturdier. So that's pretty much it. These ones say friendly. They're a bit harder to break through the Cricut machine, and that's what I'm going to end up using. I like to, for instance, I'm using this for my Five Nights at Freddy's characters. I'm getting this for another project, but I'm gonna get the big giant wide sheets that they have right here, and I'm getting that in white and black so that I can use that for multiple eyes. And then I'm going to get one of each of these colors for the centers of the eyes, and these are nice and sturdy and firm. There's more fabric per like square, basically, if that makes sense. You want to get the ones that are a little bit sturdier, because these ones over here are too floppy, and whenever you send them through the Cricut machine, you just end up frying it. It just ends up pulling apart and just breaking. You want to go for the ones that are usually on the left hand side. I don't know if that is for all of them, but they're a little bit harder and stiffer, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so I have connected. I'm going to go over and change the housing from a fine point blade. There's this nice little tray under here that I keep things into. I like that a lot. We're going to change the housing from that to our rotary blade, and that is literally all I have to do is change it right over. We're now going to go over to our felt sheet and our Cricut mat, which, by the way, has a nice llama face in it from when I attempted to do this with normal felt and the rotary blade. It will go right into your mat, so I do not recommend it. But I'm going to try to get this to stick on here. It's not the stickiest mat. I know that it's fuzzy because, again, I destroyed original felt on it and it just decided to do that. So now let's take this and load it on. We're gonna hit our receiving thing right there, and then we're gonna hit the Cricut button because we have already loaded it to the rotary blade and it already has the whites of the eyes. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to continue doing this with all of the other colors and all of the other projects with my other felts. So I have yellow, and then I also have black with this FNAF character that I'm doing. I did pink for Chica. My cat is right there, apparently deciding to hang out with Kyo. Why? Okay. And then I've got blue for Bonnie, and I've got red for, blue for Freddy, and then red for Bonnie. So I'm gonna go do that for the rest of my FNAF characters, and I'll show you my other projects that I have listed. I'm gonna be doing the Let's Eat bib, but with this blue felt, which I think will be a lot of fun. I want to see what it looks like with this felt on this plain bib, and I also am going to be doing that with my Fortnite bear, which I am working on, and I'm also making Kyo eyes if I can get my cat off of Kyo. All right, let's go ahead and get that going, and I'll show you how I hot glue them all together. All right, so I have a couple other projects that I'm working on as well. For the FNAF eyes, those are super easy. You don't really need any images or upload anything. But for, say, the Fortnite bear that I'm going to be coming up with, you do need some shapes. I'm going to put those onto Dropbox. I'm going to make a zip file of them. Hopefully that works. Otherwise, I'm going to need some suggestions down in the comments to see if I can get some help to make that work. So for example, here on the Fortnite bear, I have, let's customize it just to show you and get you into the actual little project here. Over here, I have the eyes. I did the same thing. They'll be popping up in just a moment. My computer is very slow. I'm working on a 2010 MacBook, so it all works very slowly. I have this right here, the eyes. I did the same thing with the circles. I'm going to be doing a little heart nose. You can also do that in shapes, just making it whatever the size you want. However, the lightning bolt and the heart with the little lightning bolt inside of it are not a Cricut thing that you can use unless you buy it or something. I don't know if you can find something similar to that in the like purchased shapes and images and stuff. However, I will have the little PNG that you can upload. That is super duper easy. You just go over to upload and you take your upload image. Let's just, for example, find a random PNG. Go to browse. Usually I use a PNG with a clear background. I delete any kind of backgrounds. I find these things a lot. So say here, go for broken heart just for giggles. Click on that. That already has a clear background and not a white background, which is why you won't see it pop up with the little white here. It's all nice and white and checkered. Well, blue and checkered. You go to simple because this is a very simple, high contrast. I use silhouettes a lot of the time to try to make this work. Go to continue. Here it'll say if you want to delete anything, if you want to get rid of any of the other images. Say you had like a random little shape here that you didn't want, you can erase that for whatever reason. I do that all in GIMP, which is a freeware version of things. You can then do print, then cut image, which I have not done this, but for when I'm adding it to my projects and trying to cut out the shapes, I go to cut image. I selected it. I then go to upload, and it will upload a nice clear background, which you don't have to worry with. So I've already done this. It's already in my project. So let's go ahead and go back to my project and show the other pieces, basically. So I would follow the same idea when it comes to my Fortnite bear accessories. These are in black. I think this is in white. So actually that needs to be taken off of that right there. So say I wanted to delete that off of there. Let's go to customize. I know this is going to be taking a little bit, so I'm going to try to fast forward things as I can. I'm sure you're already going to be seeing fast forwarded images. I have all these. I open up an initial project, again, do all the things, the size that I want it, figure that out. I'm going to go to copy. I hit Command C, and I'm going to take this from the black, the felt right here. I'm going to delete that for right there and hit save. These are all the black felt pieces that I'm going to need for this project, so I just put Fortnite black felt. I'm going to go back to my projects and go over to the white because it's a white little lightning bolt across the eye. I'm going to go over to the Fortnite white felt. Again, customize. I can just go over and paste it essentially, and then I'm going to hit Control V, which will paste it right there. I can turn all of this black if I want to. I probably honestly should, because it doesn't matter. This is the white felt, but it looks weird otherwise. So here, I'm going to hit save, go over here. I would, again, set up a white felt sheet, go to print, do all that stuff. I probably would also weld these together depending on how it looks whenever I go to the make it portion of this. I'm also going to be doing the same thing with Kyo. After printing off all of these, I'm going to be doing the felt eye color in purple and in pink. So I would do one of each because he has two different little eye colors. I don't know, it's a weird Fortnite bear. The Fortnite bear has two different colored eyes in most of the images that I see of it. Go over to Kyo. I'm doing the same exact thing. So I made it the size that I want, and then I make it into two sub projects of what I want them to be for the colors. This is going to be red, and this is going to be in white. I'm also going to take some fabric paint and go down the eye right there in black fabric paint, but I'll go more into that whenever I do the actual tutorial for the Kyo and for my Fortnite bear. I just wanted to show generally how this can be applied to other amigurumi and stuff like that. Alright, so I've cut everything out now, and I just need to hot glue things where they need to go. I have a bunch of these done, and as you can tell, there are some issues with the rotary cutter. It tends to make it less circular on one side, but I always put that side and try to hide it. So essentially when I take these and I hot glue them, I'm going to start by pulling this off, letting that be my center, pulling this off, and then taking him, not that, hot gluing him to like the curb. And I try to put the one with the little like edge, if there is one, on the edge like that. So same thing with this. There is this side, which is a little bit more straight than not. So I'm going to put that in a way that goes right in the dead center. And I'm going to put that in a way that this will cover that so it looks a little bit more circular. So here, that's my outer edge. I'm going to put him on the outer edge so that it kind of goes with it. And I'm just going to hot glue all those on. And when I'm done with that, I hot glue the entire piece from the back of here onto the face of my Chica, or my Foxy, or my Freddy, or my Bonnie. And I'm going to do the same thing over here where I have the Fortnite bear. I'm going to do the same thing with the eyes, but this lightning bolt is technically underneath the eye, so I'm going to put that on first and then put this on over it after I've already hot glued that on, so on and so forth with all of my little bits. The Let's Eat actually turned out really nice. I'm not the biggest fan of that little apostrophe, but we'll see how it goes, and I'm going to try to get that onto the piece as well. So I'm going to go hot glue those on, and I'll be back after that. Alright, so I have hot glued their little faces on. This one is all done. This is Foxy, and I am going to be using some fabric paint to give a 3D nose, which is why he doesn't look quite right. So I added the fangs. I actually had to go back and reprint those because I forgot to print them at the same time as Foxy's eyes. So I added little fangs. Again, links for the PNGs and everything will be on my Dropbox. I'll have that all linked down in the doobly-doo so you can make it on your own before I actually even post the tutorial. In the tutorial, when I do post it, it'll be in the doobly-doo there, so just stay tuned over there. I'm hoping Dropbox will work, and if it doesn't, then I don't know, but I'll figure it out. So I'm happy with how these eyes look. They're super cute, they're super adorable, and all of them are gonna have the same eyes. And I'm gonna be working on the Fortnite bear, I'm gonna be working on Kyo, and I'm gonna be working on all the FNAF characters and finishing them up as well. I did the Let's Eat bib. I love how all this is looking, and it's super cute, and I feel like it's upping my game. I know that not everybody is going to have a Cricut Maker, obviously. I splurged, and that was a big purchase for me, but you can also easily do this with cutting out your own eyes. I've done that before. I just like how perfect circles they are and how much cleaner it looks using this type of felt. So basically, if you've got a Cricut Maker or you've got some kind of other thing like a Cameo that can cut felt and it has a rotary blade on it, this is another option that you can use to up your amigurumi game. If this is something that you want to do and you want to have really cute anime eyes, or you want to do anime characters, I could see so many different applications for this with your amigurumi. So I just wanted to kind of share that, show the different things that I do, and show what you can do with a Cricut. So I'm really excited. Stay tuned for all of my FNAF characters and for my Fortnite bear and for Kyo from Fruits Baskets. I'm loving how I have an episode to watch, and I'm on episode 10 of the final episode of Kyo from Fruits Basket. I know I'm totally geeking out about it, and this is like the third time I've mentioned it in a video, but I've been watching Fruits Basket since I was in middle school, and I read the manga back in high school, and they're redoing all of it, so it's just, it's got a special place in my heart. I know that it's cheesy, and I know that there's some cheesy aspects to it, and it's very, very shoujo, so I know, but I'm geeking out about it, and I'm going to be doing an entire video on Kyo, so if you want to hear me and all my thoughts on Fruits Baskets, stay tuned for that, because I'm probably going to go on a whole tangent there. So, subscribe if you want to subscribe, but if you like content like this, you might want to. I try to post a lot, and now that I'm getting done with substitute teaching at where I was working, summer's coming, so I'm hopefully going to be posting a lot more. I'm hoping to be doing at least 2 tutorials a week. We'll see if I can stick to that, but I'm hoping to do 2 tutorials a week, so stay tuned for that. Like, subscribe, do all the nice things if you want to do the nice things. We have a Patreon if you want to help support the channel. We've got that down in the description, linked down below too. Everything's down below. affiliate links abroad, everything. There's all kinds of stuff down in the doobly-doo. So go down there. All right, until next time, guys, hopefully Foxy will be next. Bye.